Hi, I'm Sarah.
And I'm David, and we are shook at the outcome of Survivor 46.
We had a finale. We're going to talk about it. But first, if you're new to this channel, please click subscribe and give this video a thumbs up.
And support us on Patreon at patreon.com/nerdtainment. Okay, so congrats.
Congrats
to Kenzie. Huge win.
I will say this whole end game had some really fun twists and turns that I didn't see coming.
Did not see them coming.
We know the reunion is still going a little bit, so thank you for joining along.
Yes, we're ready to talk about it.
Yeah.
Let's back up.
Back it up.
To when Maria and my girl Liz were still in this game, still fighting for the million. We're coming off of Q's elimination, right?
Right. And Maria's big faux pas.
Maria tried it.
Yep.
Okay. She tried it. And now she's tail between her legs. And she's like, Charlie, look at what they made me do.
Oh, she's
Everybody
like,
made me think.
They got me good. They said, I had to vote you. They trapped me.
Charlie, I never wanted to vote you out.
Never.
But I was told that you were the vote. So she's trying it again.
Yeah.
And Charlie's like,
oh, yeah. He's like, no, I get it. I mean, we're still good. We're still
He's
good.
like, trust me, if you didn't have that immunity necklace, you would be gone. So I get it.
Yeah, he's like, how bitter can I actually be?
Yeah, right.
I was gunning for her.
Yeah.
Thank you, Alexandra.
Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate that. Liz is so happy because Q is finally gone.
Oh.
And
she's like, hello. Yeah.
She's just kind of like, because Maria like sits down at the campfire, right? And she's like, wow, y'all are really playing. And
no,
Liz
she says, y'all are playing harder than I thought.
And Liz is like, I resent that.
I resented it too.
I've been playing, Liz says. Do not minimize Liz's game. Do that at your own peril, Maria.
I mean, I was like, Maria, that's a huge oversight. If you're like, oh, wait, these other people were playing.
Right.
Yeah, it was not just you.
No.
Hi.
So basically, Maria has like the biggest target on her at this point. Everyone's like, you're next.
It was already there.
They were going to do it if she didn't have immunity at the last tribal. So that is going to play into what we see in this immunity challenge.
Yes, next day, day 24, we're at immunity. We've got a net going through mud. We've got obstacle course galore.
You're like pulling a rope through a plank that has a bunch of holes in it.
But you're going to end on a puzzle where you actually have to read it and then do whatever it's telling you to get a combo lock.
Loved this.
Wow.
I'm loving every new challenge that they are now introducing. Thank you, Carson, for 3D printing everything and breathing some new life into this game. Some of these like challenges, they are now building to be too big to 3D print. They're like, we're just going to make this massive so that nobody can try it. But yeah, there's the message on this puzzle, right? It's you can't just solve the puzzle and say, I'm done. Then there's like more information.
You got to get the plank.
The puzzle's just a clue.
And I didn't realize when Jeff's first, like, count the plank holes, the plank was back at the beginning of the obstacle.
You crawl through that mud net, you pull the rope through the plank, and then you're dropping a bridge, you're climbing up, you're retrieving a key, you're building it. Like, you literally don't know what the plank means by the time we get to the end of this. So the beginning is sort of Maria versus Charlie. It feels like it's going to come down to the two of them, and this is kind of the rivalry that we've been building toward all season. The two of them are in the lead for a lot of this challenge.
Of course, yes.
Liz gets her bridge down and she runs right past her key up to the top of the thing.
And then she's like, Liz, get your head in the game.
But Kenzie's the one who's really putting the puzzle together. Maria as well.
Everyone's going to end up on the puzzle.
Yeah.
We're all there. We're all doing it.
Yeah.
But Kenzie's going to start to pull ahead.
Yeah.
And she is actually going to finish the puzzle.
Done.
But like typical is like, wait, now what?
Now she's like, I'm done. And Jeff's like, cool.
Keep going. And she's like trying to read. It looked like she was maybe counting things on the. Now, to be fair, he is saying everything you need is on the puzzle. And I was like, that's not exactly true, sir. You're telling them read the puzzle.
Yeah.
But then you have to go get something else.
Then you have to go get it.
if I heard you say everything I need is on the puzzle, I'd be right there at the puzzle.
Well, Kenzie's reading it and she's like tapping each word. You can tell she's like mentally like getting herself back in it, right? And she's reading it. And at this point, I'm thinking like this gives other people a little bit of a heads up that I'm not just finishing the puzzle and I'm done. Like people are like, oh, now I'm thinking like Maria now knows that she's got to read the puzzle. And she's like,
what's happening?
Staying focused, whereas Mackenzie thought she won and now she's like having to get back in it. But Liz is like, I did. I don't know why I did that. Kenzie. Liz comes over and she's like, F my puzzle.
Yeah, she's like,
I'm going to read your puzzle because the main thing I need to do, Liz is positioned right between Maria and Kenzie, so she knows how both of them are doing.
Yeah.
She walks over to Kenzie and she's like, how may I help you?
Yeah, she reads it and she's like, plank.
They're all like, plank.
We had one of those. Now, Liz runs off. She didn't have to. She could have just said, Kenzie, go get your plank.
No.
But Liz just dives. So at first I was confused. I was like, maybe Liz doesn't have to finish her puzzle. She can just count her plank.
Well, she could have. We thought maybe she's running back to get her plank.
I thought she was going to
bring it back up, finish the puzzle, and then she'd have her plank right there. But no. I noticed that she grabbed Kenzie's because it's the color.
Yep, she grabbed
the color that was Kenzie's. And I'm like, Liz, you better do it. Go get that plank, bring it back. It becomes very clear that Liz is with helping Kenzie win this. And the goal is get Maria out. Maria, meanwhile, has finished the puzzle. She's seen Liz go down and get the plank. She's now running to get her own plank. But Liz is up there and it's too late for Maria. It's 2-on-1.
Yeah, they did it. They did it. I mean, I don't hate this. That's just...
I don't either.
That's just good game.
And I'm like...
That's outplaying.
I mean, this should come as no surprise to anybody watching this, but I'm giving credit to Liz.
He's all over. He was like, my girl, Liz.
I'm like, this is Liz's move.
He was. I mean, Kenzie gets it. She wins immunity.
Yeah.
This was huge. Obviously, Maria is pissed.
Oh.
She's not happy about it.
I mean, they're all giving props to Maria. Like, we had to do it to beat you. Yeah. You're a legend.
It took 2 of us.
Look, this is what it takes.
Yeah.
So I know it stings, but like we had to do it. Otherwise, you just would have like bulldozed us to the end of the game. So sorry, we had to.
Yeah.
Kenzie's standing up there with the immunity idol, and Jeff's like, you are taking somebody to eat some pasta.
Oh, yeah.
And Liz is the one who helped her win, right? So we're like, well, obvious choice. Bring Liz. But Kenzie's like, you know, Ben is the only one who's never been to Sanctuary
where good things happen.
Liz says, I am allergic to pasta.
Guess what? I'm allergic to pasta. Which honestly, when Jeff was like, hey, the reward is pasta, I was like, can Liz even eat that? Guess what? No, she cannot.
No, she cannot.
I don't know that life is worth living if I'm allergic to pasta.
Liz says,
no,
I don't want it. I can't have it. Give it to Ben. I'm like, another thing to add to your resume, the selflessness of giving a reward to Ben, Liz. You are just racking up the reasons to award you the $1 million.
Okay. That's a stretch, David. That's a stretch.
It is. But at reward, it's sort of like a fairly innocuous conversation between Kenzie and Ben because the understanding was the goal was to beat Maria. We've done it. And now we're going to get her out.
Yeah. They're like, right. We get her out. Is it this easy?
Yeah.
But yeah, Ben gets to enjoy some pasta. They have a lovely meal here.
Yeah.
So back at camp though, Charlie and Maria
are there. And Charlie's like, I need Maria. If she's going to the jury, I need her vote. Mm-hmm. And if she's staying in the game, I need her. So he's still very smartly playing nice with her.
Yeah.
And pretending like, look, you know, maybe we can figure something else out. Maybe it doesn't have to be you.
And honestly, I guess it works well because we never see her try to pitch Charlie.
Yeah.
Like, I think she felt so bad. She got caught. She was like, don't do that again, Maria.
Yeah.
Because honestly, if you don't take out Maria this vote, you got to take out Charlie. That's where my head's at this whole time.
Charlie's the biggest threat.
It is Charlie or Maria. Yeah. They win this season. That's where my head's at. So when we see Maria start to like pitch Ben, I'm like, well, then I guess Charlie's doing the good work because she should be trying to pitch Charlie.
She should, because Charlie's a much bigger threat than Ben.
Yes.
But she kind of half-heartedly is like, maybe I'll find an idol, but we never really see a meaningful idol search. But she is like, Kenzie. You know, Kenzie comes back and Kenzie comes to talk to her. And Maria's like, look, Ben wrote your name. And
Ben's so shady.
The deceptiveness of Ben, if you don't think he will lie to your face all the way to the end of this game, he's going to make a huge case for himself if he sits next to you in Final Tribal. And Kenzie's like,
girl,
the fact that you are trying to convince me of this,
what are you doing?
Proves how dangerous you are.
You are the dangerous one.
Everybody wants to go to the final 3 with Ben. And you're trying to make him seem like the biggest threat to me.
Vote to change. I was like, David, I can't even with this vote right
Why
now.
are we entertaining this?
Like, what are the editors trying with us?
Well, then Maria goes to Charlie and Liz, similar pitch, and they make it seem like Liz is being fooled. And I'm like, not my girl.
Liz is
my girl is not being fooled by this.
Makes a lot of sense here.
She just, like, Maria walks away and it's Liz and Charlie sitting and she goes, Ben.
I don't trust that guy. No, I don't. Yeah, so we head into this tribal and I was like, tell me it is not.
No way. No way. No.
Can't be.
But it turns into
quickly
Maria Love Fest.
Yes.
Maria's proud of the game she's played. Her kids are watching tonight.
Yeah.
You know, it just feels like one by one. Literally, they're going like, Kenzie, Ben, Liz, Charlie, tell us about Maria. And they're like giving her flowers. And that really is kind of what this tribal in every season in the new era has become. It's like, we're getting out a major threat because they didn't win immunity. And so we're just going to give them props. It's like Jesse, right?
Yeah.
It's
whenever a really big threat who could have very easily won the game goes out, they do. And so it's becoming clear Maria is going to be voted out of here because we're giving her this big moment. But I'm glad that they do that because those big players do deserve these moments
for sure
to go out on this big high note.
Yeah. I was like, please vote. Like, I don't want it to be like, well, Maria, everybody said they're voting for you, so should we just not vote? Like, I just want to like see the game through and like hold the vote, get voted out. Don't just walk away, you know? So I'm glad that they voted.
Yeah.
She, you know.
For a moment, I thought, because didn't they show us all the votes here? So we see.
I saw all but one.
Yeah, we see 3 votes towards Maria. Yeah. So you're like, okay, is she about to play an idol that we
or a shot in the dark? You said shot in the dark, and I almost had a panic attack.
Well, because you said idol, and I was like, ooh, or she could have her shot in the dark.
Yeah, she didn't do it.
None of that.
So it was Ben, Maria, and then I'm assuming that the last vote.
Shot in the dark might be last at 6.
Maybe it is.
Yeah.
But
yeah, that's Maria's out. You get it. This is the time you take out a big threat.
She's gone. So now we're back at camp, final 4, woo. Ben is getting a major edit now with the Night Terrors. And they've been building this up all season.
Yeah.
We've checked in a number of times. He's been, but it's a whole montage of like, I've been suffering since day 13.
Right. We get the flashbacks of like many nights where he has this. David's like, why are we getting this edit? I
was like, what's going on? And turns out there's a reason.
There is
a
reason.
This jacket off. I'm getting
a little
too hot.
I'm
overheating here in LA. So I'm just going to take this off.
It's hot.
But I'm like, okay.
Yeah. I mean, this is a lovely edit for him to just like get to know him more.
Yeah.
He's talking about showing up for himself.
Yeah.
I can't imagine these night terrors safely in my home, much less out in a jungle. Like this is a horrible.
And then we get a little preview of Liz being worried about fire because her ligaments are too big for her body. And I'm like, what does that mean?
Liz has a disorder, has an issue with her ligament size.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Anyway.
So we're going to immunity. And it's, again, one of those, this is the one where I'm like, oh, they literally made this too big to 3D print. It's like a giant game of, you called it out, Price is Right, Plinko. While they're building a puzzle. And they have to like chuck their ball up to the top of the Plinko set and, keep an eye on it as it's like bouncing its way down to the bottom, because if it falls in the trap, it has to go all the way down. You saw it. So I'm like, Liz, use those giant ligaments of yours to launch that ball to the top of your Plinko thing. No, that's not what happens. That's not how this goes.
No, this was a challenge that I thought Charlie has this in the bag.
Did you?
Yeah. This is right up his alley. He's great with puzzles.
Yeah.
He's pretty good with other things. I don't know.
And we're still expecting him to like makes a big showing in the end game.
Yeah.
Because he's gotten the edit up to this point. And like now Maria's gone. So like to me, I'm like, this has paved the way for Charlie to win.
This is Charlie's time to shine.
Yeah.
But that's not going to be the case. He's going to miss the ball.
Oh, he's the first one to let the ball drop down. And
they
make a meal out of that. They're like, oh, wow, Charlie's still waiting.
And honestly, that thing was, that seemed like
it was slow. It was slow.
Then there was a time when Liz ran, the ball was like halfway down the thing. And Liz ran back. We both were like, Liz, you're running back already. And then she fumbles it.
She fumbles it, falls in the thing. She's trying to launch it up. She can't get it high enough.
She can't do it.
I'm like,
so another time, Kenzie throws her ball off the thing, which you had said. What happens if you throw it off the board?
She just has to go get it.
Kenzie showed us.
Yep. Charlie almost drops again, and then he does drop again.
He does drop again. He has to wait.
Second time.
Again. Meanwhile, Ben just chilling over there on the puzzle.
Just chilling. Just making progress slowly. Liz goes back at one point, is like about to catch it, and like takes her eye off the ball for a second and drops it. I'm like, you are flopping here.
It's those oversized ligaments.
Yeah, I guess so.
It really gets in the way.
Ben wins.
Ben's gonna win.
What?
Ben like interrupted Jeff.
Oh yeah, he literally was like, Jeff was like, oh, if you drop the thing, like you gotta wait for it to go. And he's like, but we're still in it?
But we're still in it. Like he had a question, and then Jeff was like, can I get back to what I'm doing? And it goes, oh, yeah.
Can I finish the steak?
So out of it.
Yeah.
He has not slept.
No.
But he's going to be able to do this puzzle and win immunity at final.
I'm blown away.
Whatever we're at.
I did not have this on my bingo card.
No.
So now Ben is in the power position. He's the one who's going to choose who's going to fire, who he's bringing, blah, blah, blah.
Pause. Okay. Let's just get on the same page here, guys.
Okay.
If Ben wins immunity, which I just didn't see happening, this is the chance to take Charlie out of the game potentially
100%.
And bring Liz and Kenzie with you.
Or at the very least,
try to
bring Liz. You know I love her, but sit next to the millionaire.
Oh, exactly. I don't care what great story you have, Liz. No one's voting for the person who said, I have so much money, I don't need this.
Well, nobody told Ben because he sat Liz down on the beach and he said, you have played the hardest game of anybody here. And I can't beat you. So I'm going to have to ask you to make fire. And I'm like, we are in the Twilight Zone.
Yeah, we're both like, what? Cut to Liz being like, he figured it out. He saw my game.
They drank the same Kool-Aid. I'm like, oh my God.
Wait, what?
Liz is the biggest threat?
She's devastated because she's been found out. She's going to win the game.
She's like, somebody finally discovered that I am the best player of the season. You are my favorite player of the season, but that's different.
That's different.
Oh. So, but he's super open about it and he's like, go make fire. So she's like, let me take my giant ligaments and go practice with fire. And so then Ben is like really emotional because he's got to choose between Kenzie, who's been up with him every night he's had a night terror, and Charlie, who's been his day one.
Day one-ish.
So he goes to Kenzie first.
Yeah.
And she's, to us, secretly, away from Ben, she's like, I really want him to send me to fire because I want it for my resume.
I'll take it. It's a resume builder. I'll take it.
Give it to me.
She's watched a couple seasons.
Yeah. So that's their conversation. Then Ben goes to Charlie, sees Charlie making fire, and Charlie's like, hey, man. And Ben immediately is like waterworks, like crying. And Charlie's like, what? What's going on?
Charlie's like, wait, what's happening?
Papa Squat, why are you upset? I'm about to go to fire. Huh? So, but he's like, let it out, Ben. Tell me what you're feeling. And Ben's like, this is a really emotional decision for me.
And Charlie was like, what if I just ask you to take me?
Yeah, what if we just agreed on Kenzie?
Charlie's like, I don't want to. I don't need it on my resume.
I really don't.
I agreed with Charlie at this moment. I was like, you don't need it on your resume.
Yeah.
You've made so many moves. You're good.
You're
and
good.
Charlie's agreeing with me.
Yep.
Amy, thank you.
Thank you. Agreed. Bring Liz. Biggest mistake. Then we get Liz and Kenzie trying to make their fires, and it's very dramatic with like Liz. She finally gets one big old fire we see her make, and Kenzie's like absolutely losing it and panicking and like having a hard time.
Like Liz's edit here is amazing. Of course it is. She always gives us such good content.
And I'm like, Liz, you genius. You helped Kenzie eliminate Maria. Then you convinced everyone that you were the biggest threat so that you could go to fire and you could tell everybody like, oh, my ligaments, I can't make fire. But then you are going to beat Mackenzie, sit in the final 3, and you're going to win this check. No.
Okay.
I got to point out, this music cue leading into this final tribal was brilliant.
They're like, oh yeah,
it was so good as Ben's like drafting over his decision.
Held it while they're walking off. That was really good. There was some really great cinematic edits. Beautiful stuff.
So we get to tribal. Ben is going to talk about, he's the only one who didn't make any mistakes in this final, because the jury's like, who's wearing that necklace right now?
They are. Pretty quickly, though, he's going to say, or Liz is going to say, Liz says, I'm the biggest threat.
Somebody says something about Liz being automatically in fire because she's the biggest threat. And Venus's reaction.
She was like, what planet are we on? I mean, most of the jury did a little what? But thank goodness we got those reactions because I was like, right? I know. Crazy, right?
Right, exactly. I'm like, is that the perception in the game?
Is Liz the biggest threat?
No, it's not. So Ben is like, Liz is going, and now I have to choose between Kenzie and Charlie, and he's emotional again about this choice.
I think people are also like, you're taking Charlie?
Are you sure about that?
You're just bringing Charlie?
Charlie, the one.
You just want to give Charlie the opportunity? Okay.
All right. So he says it's going to be Liz versus Kenzie.
Yeah.
And I'm like, he just handed Charlie the check.
Oh, yeah. I'm like, wow, sealed the deal.
Yeah.
Paul, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
We love having you.
And Fred.
Thank you.
Fred. Thank you. So we go to fire.
Mm-hmm.
Liz versus Kenzie. And it is a long time before anything really happens here. It's just a lot of panicking.
Yeah. I mean, Liz is going to get a little sparks here and there, but they're going to be snuffed out quickly.
Yeah. Jeff has a good time with that. Like, oh, Liz has a flame and it's dead.
But like Kenzie, has like a breakdown. She has like a block. She's like choking.
That's what I think Q said that. He's like, why is she choking?
Yeah.
It's so hard right now.
She really did. And she had to like kind of we see her kind of have to like do a reset.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, whoa, what is happening right now? She knows how to make fire. Like, why is this so hard?
All of a sudden she gets a big flame. And it just never really goes out. She builds the structure. She does exactly what she needs to do. I think Liz gets like a couple of other teeny tiny flames going, but she always seems to like blow it out, like you're supposed like softly. And it just seems like she's like blows it out.
Yeah.
So Liz never really gets anything going, and Kenzie wins. And she is on her way to the finals to lose to Charlie, I think.
Oh, yeah. I was like, they're going to roast Ben.
Oh, yeah.
Bringing Charlie.
Yeah.
They're going to go in on that, and Charlie's going to win. I'm still in that mindset.
But this is the beginning of Kenzie telling her story, right? Because while this should probably be a Liz moment of like, you're out of the game. How are you feeling? I mean, Liz gives some great eye rolls at the hugs that she's receiving. And, everybody's like, I love you. And she's like, I'll love you tomorrow, which I love. Yeah. That energy is so me. But Kenzie now is saying, like, telling the story of how, like, she started this game with no fire and she thought she was going to end it with no fire. But this is her redemption now, right? It's like this sort of like anti-ending to the way she began.
It's so true.
I'm like, oh, you're already
don't forget Yanu
spinning a story.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And Liz is like, you were right to get me out because it was over for all of you.
She said it was over. I beat you all. It's over.
I love it.
I mean, The Delulu. Woo! All right.
Then we go to the beach the next morning.
Next morning, we have a final breakfast. We have some gorgeous jury shots.
Gorgeous.
A whole photo shoot.
No Liz, which I'm pissed about. To borrow Liz's phrase, I'm pissed that Liz is not in this beauty shot of the jury, but clearly they filmed this before she was voted out. But my one critique of this breakfast was, did you see the champagne pour on those mimosas? That was solid orange juice.
It was mostly orange juice.
You would not see that with Sarah and I on the beach. We'd be like, fill it up with champagne and a splash.
You might if I hadn't eaten for 20-something days. I might have been more orange.
Don't you dare.
It's calling me
How dare you? That would be a touch of orange juice
in splash of OJ.
Exactly.
In mimosa. That's how you make them.
Yeah. But we're gonna, we get a lot of like jury thoughts on like, oh, Ben, he's like played such a great social game. Everybody loves him. But so does very quickly like, this is outplay, outlast. It's not outlove. So no Ben. But, everybody sort of gives their reasons for why they might vote for all of the final three. They're giving a little tease of, I think Charlie's recognizing correctly that he really needs to sell the ownership of his game and have it not seem like, oh, I was just Maria's right hand and like he was calling the shots and I was going along with it. Like he's got to communicate to the jury that, yeah, I was actually running this.
Yeah.
So they all kind of lay out what is ahead for them.
Exactly. Like Kenzie's got her great social, personal story. And then Charlie's like making grids in the sand.
Yeah.
But we're going to get to final tribal and the jury has rules.
Oh.
No Taylor Swift lyrics.
I swear to you, if you bring a Taylor Swift lyric into this.
We'll take no pop culture references.
No rock and roll jokes.
Nope. And we will be timing you periodically. We will let you know when that time comes.
Question 1 from Tiffany. What was your big move, Ben? Well, that's a hard one.
Okay, Ben. What did we just start?
Ben,
what was your move? That's like the basics.
Everybody's going to ask this one, Ben.
But it's true. He was like, look, this wasn't the game I had in mind. This was the hand that I was dealt. And he didn't make any moves. So what
he didn't. He's like, I built an alliance. And Charlie's like, actually, no, that was me.
Yeah, Charlie was like, more like I did.
I did that. But then Charlie is like, the Hunter vote was my big move because it started as like a Tiffany vote from Kenzie and I flipped it on Hunter and Hunter's like, well, actually, I'm not going to give you credit for that. It sucks to try to take credit for a big move and have the jury cut your legs out from underneath you and say, actually, that was Kenzie who convinced me not to play my or my shot in the dark. So nice try.
That's so wild. There was, I think it was Tiffany, my exit interview with Tiffany. The reason she didn't play her idol, she said to me, was because Charlie said, hey, let's use it to get Maria out. And I was like, oh, Charlie doing the work behind the scenes that we don't see. That didn't come up in Final Tribal.
No. Charlie doesn't really get a great moment, in my opinion.
No,
in this
he really didn't.
Tribal. Kenzie is...
There was a moment when Kenzie was like, saying something and Q was like, that's not how it happened.
She was like arguing with Q and
she was like, no, what she's saying is correct.
Oh yeah. Tiffany had to like back her up because Kenzie, I'm sure, is like, you are literally a thorn in my side.
Yeah.
Even now.
Look at this man I had to work with the whole time.
You're killing me in the game. And now you're killing me on the jury. Will you just shut up, please? But he has such a different view of how everything
he really does.
Now.
Yeah.
And he can't accept that like a move was not his, right? Like there was some strategy that he did not own. So he's kind of like pushing back on some of that stuff. And Kenzie's like, oh my God, please. And Tiffany's like, stop.
What I thought was really interesting, I think it was Soda's question when she was like, Ben, you were emotional. Kenzie, you were a people person, or you were a number.
Yeah.
And Charlie, you were what? I don't remember.
Yeah.
But Kenzie owned that she was a number and that she was a people person. Yeah. And I agree, she had such a social game. But I thought that spelled it out right there. Like Charlie had a move. He had a couple moves, but he specifically was like, I protected myself with this group and got Maria out when she tried to get me out. And Kenzie said, I'm a number. I was like,
yeah. He really got to land the Maria situation, I thought, where he was like, Maria was winding up to take a swing at me, and I already had laid the groundwork to hit her first.
Yeah.
Great analogy there. By getting Q out and then her, like, he really is taking ownership for that, like, back-to-back big move, Q Maria. Other than that, though, like, Venus asks him, like, what was your big mistake? And he's like, oh, yeah, you know, like, my mistake was voting for you, Venus. But then, like, I learned from that, and I became friends with Q, and he invited me into the 6, and they laughed at him. They were like, you think it was, like, good to get into the 6? We were a joke on alliance. And again, it just seemed to be
Maria was like, I invited you into the 6. I was like, why are y'all fighting over who invited someone into the 6?
They just were not respecting
need
him.
For credit was such a massive theme in this whole season. And like, we even see it here with the jury.
Yeah.
It's so wild. But yeah, edit wise, David and I both were like, oh, wow, this is going Kenzie's way.
It really is.
And I just was really, although I did think it was going to be close, and it was. But I think personally, Charlie and Kenzie have great social games. They both do.
Yes.
But Charlie made a couple moves, and I just didn't see Kenzie do that. So Kenzie, I still was like, well, Charlie beats Kenzie.
Literally this final episode for Kenzie.
Yeah.
To where she sort of outshined Charlie. Mm-hmm. But when we see the vote, and we see Soda vote Charlie, and we see Q vote Kenzie, and then we see Hunter vote Charlie, and Tiffany vote Kenzie, we were kind of like, what's happening?
Like,
is this just a Yanu who's voting for Kenzie? But then, you know, as like the last person was walking down, we were like, oh, there's 8 people on the jury. Like, is this going to be a tie? And then Soda says that, like, is this going to be a tie? And I thought, like, is this going to then build toward, you know, Ben's final emotional decision of like Charlie or Kenzie? Who am I going to give the win to? But no, it is not that.
We get Charlie Kenzie, Charlie Kenzie,
Charlie Kenzie, Kenzie. Kenzie.
Oh, wow. I mean, again, congrats to Kenzie. We adore her.
Yes.
And she played a beautiful game.
Social game.
Absolutely.
Beautiful.
She survived Yanu. My gosh.
Yeah.
That alone should get you something.
Yeah. Thank you.
But I, like Charlie's face, I was right there with him. And then to find out that Maria didn't vote for Charlie, which, let's count this out. If Maria had voted for Charlie,
would have been a tie.
It would have been a tie. Ben would have been pulled out to be the tie break. And I have to imagine Ben votes Charlie.
I would think so too.
Just because they were closer.
Yeah, he brought Charlie to the finals.
Although he loved him some Kenzie because of the night terrors. But yeah, he brought Charlie to the finals. So yeah, I think Charlie would have taken it if Maria hadn't done that. Y'all, what is up with Maria?
I mean, she says to him in the reunion, the live reunion, where she's like, this woman changed my mind. Like,
because I want her to be able to have money to have a baby.
But she like, referenced the fire making challenge. She's like, that's when I saw something in her that, you know, made
replaced
me think,
all the days we spent together, and I saw in your eyes.
I think Maria, there might have been a little bit of bitterness in this decision of like, yeah, Charlie, great, but you were my number 2 the whole time. And at least Kenzie played a different game. You played my game.
Right.
And then you got me out, and I'm not going to give you $1 million for that.
Yeah, I think Maria saw Charlie as her number 2 the whole time. And even like when she said, I can't, she's like, oh, I didn't realize you guys were playing so hard. Like, I think she just didn't see what other people were doing.
Yeah.
So therefore she couldn't give him credit, which is just such a stab. Like, I just.
Sucks.
Wow.
Sucks.
That's a tough pill to swallow.
Yeah. But congrats to Kenzie. She was great and so fun to watch the entire season. I personally would have hoped for, you know, sort of more big moves throughout the game, or more control of the game throughout. But there's certainly something to be said for someone who was on the tribe that was like the losingest tribe of all time on Survivor. And she just was constantly playing from the bottom, and she made her way to the top. Like, that's a beautiful comeback story, you know?
I don't like the question, what are you going to do with the money?
I don't either.
What?
But that's where we are. That's just the world we live in. It's like, give it to the person who needs it the most.
We all need it.
It's not about the game.
First off, the way people spend their money is nobody's business. Like that's personal decisions. But why would somebody, like Kenzie said, I want to set myself up for my family. Like to some people that connects.
Yeah.
Some people would be like, I don't care about you and your family. You have to give it to charity. You have to give it to charity. You know, it's like, who's to judge how you should spend your money? That's why it's not a good question.
Yeah.
You know, if the way you want to spend your money doesn't land with me. No, did you outplay me? Yes, you did.
Yeah.
Then you get the money. Like,
that's right.
I don't know about that.
I don't either. I don't love it.
So just astrologically,
please.
The chart for the season of Survivor 46 has a Leo ascendant. And I credit that with why everyone wanted credit. How they wanted to look out for themselves, number one, and I want credit because Leo is the star of the zodiac. They love the attention. They love to shine.
Okay.
So I do think that plays a factor in, but Kenzie is a Leo.
Love that.
So I would never have called that a Leo would necessarily win just because it's a Leo ascendant, but that is, I do love that.
Do you know her actual birthday? Because she's been talking to you, right? About
I have her whole chart
stuff. Oh, fun.
She's like a sun, moon, rising Leo. I think she might be a triple Leo. I have to double check, but she has a lot of Leo in her. So congratulations, Leo, taking a very Leo energy of a season.
Love that.
Yay! Well, that was our season.
Yes.
We will have 5 exit interviews for you guys tomorrow.
Oh my God. Wow.
We will get to talk to all of them.
Yeah.
As soon as we wrap up here, I'll get all of David's questions for Liz.
Yes.
But
I've got a million.
Any other questions that you guys want me to ask, please let me know.
Yes.
I think that's it, you guys.
I think so. Great season.
Right. We missed the preview for 47, so we have to go back and do that.
We will watch that.
Joseph
Lamb.
Wow,
Thank you very much.
Thanks for the wonderful recaps this season and looking forward to watching your interviews tomorrow. I know. Thank you for reminding me. I have to ask Ben what the heck was what's Nicolas Cage all about?
Yep.
You know? No, someone said this in the chat. That's so exciting.
How fun.
Adore her. I am so excited.
How fun.
That is very, very cool. No, I have to go watch the preview so I can see that.
That's great.
Yes, Vicky, thank you for bringing up Patreon.
Yes.
We are gonna watch season 34.
Game Changers.
We're rewatching that because for some reason we never covered it.
Yeah, what the heck?
We took that time off for something.
I don't know.
So we are going to rewatch that and get that coverage going on Patreon starting the first week of June. So hop on over there.
Yes, as little as $1, folks.
Right. Join us.
Yeah.
Join us for that. And then we will be adding a Amazing Race season as well over the summer. Congratulations to David for winning another draft.
I gotta lay off the celebration, but I drafted the top 4 of Survivor this season after drafting the top 3 in this season of Amazing Race. I literally am probably never going to win a draft again.
No,
I will never get this lucky again.
Jupiter was sitting on your sun and aligning with your Venus. You had such good picks.
I did.
I mean, you can celebrate. You did that. I was out early. My picks all went out immediately. So congrats to me for that.
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive.
Congrats.
I do.
Hey, there she is with the riggery accusations.
I mean, at least you were still in it. You had Maria. If they hadn't taken Maria out, I thought Maria might win the whole gosh darn thing.
Boy.
But no. Oh, well. All right. You guys in the chat are amazing. We love you. Thank you for being here all season long.
Thank you. Yes. And if you're joining us later, please leave us a comment. We love reading through them and hearing your thoughts on Maria's elimination, Liz's elimination, the final 3 tribal council, Kenzie winning out over everybody. But I think especially Charlie, we want to hear your thoughts and opinions on all of that and this season as a whole. So let us know what you think. And we very much look forward to doing some Patreon stuff with you guys over the summer.
So join us over there. We will see you later. Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye.